VoyMonk video voice vlog. Yep. All right, I'll stop singing. Yeah, I guess that'll be my intro. That will not. Oh, man. July 1st. This is vlog 177. I won't keep mentioning that, but, 6 months. We're through the first 6 months of 2025. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? What's going on? You enjoying this summer? This this heat, I guess. I guess a bit of. I want to basically talk about some of my passions as far as binge watching content, because one of my favorite shows is Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And the reason I love the show is because it gives me everything that I want in terms of a Star Trek feel, as far as being nostalgic from the original series, which I wasn't as big of a fan as The Next Generation. But it also kind of like loops it back to some of the pioneering days and that kind of thing. And if I had to make any suggestions about what you could or maybe should check out if you're a Star Trek fan like myself and you like TNG, Strange New Worlds is a definite winner in terms of binge watching. I've also got to recommend Star Trek Enterprise, because it's part of my penance for the fact that I didn't support the show. And not that it's going to matter now, because I'm shame. It was a great it was a much better show than I think I gave it credit for, because I had to crawl up my butt about the fact that I really didn't like the concept of the show, and it just didn't seem like something that I wanted to do, because it seemed like it was following a pretty much not such a great recipe, in the fact that Star Wars was doing a prequel that basically went back in time, kind of, establishing foundations of story. And it seemed like Enterprise was taking the same approach, which to me made me feel more nostalgic for the fact that TNG had been off the air and the last incarnation we had was Voyager. And I was kind of hoping at the time that we were going to actually get something that was going to actually propel the story as far as and advance it, into the future past that. So I guess careful what I wished for, because now almost 20 some years later, that's what we got from Discovery. And I know some people have their different feelings about anything that's, newer incarnation. I just think that it helps to keep in mind that if Gene Roddenberry were around, I think Star Trek would feel and be a lot different. But then again, when he was around, not everything that he did flies. And a lot of times the things that made Star Trek even a lot better were the fact they were productions that he had nil, if hardly any input at times. I mean, he's the creator, and, without him, there wouldn't be a Star Trek. But like I said, I think it keeps in mind, it bears in mind that there's a lot of different things that are officially a part of Star Trek that are very much canon and all that. And there are not any, there's no production that is without its faults or its critics or things that people liked or, loved to dislike. I just think I'm no exception. Like I said, I'm not pontificating. I'm not saying or giving advice. I'm just simply saying I've made my mistakes in there too, and I still sometimes hold to certain rigid concepts that influence and color the way that I look at things. Like I said, I really love Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I'm really looking forward to Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And everything I'm hearing about it. So, and even though it's a spinoff of Discovery, which a lot of people have their different views, just like everything else, I think it's Enterprise is worth of a watch. And since I missed out on Star Trek Discovery, I think that's one I'm going to actually tackle sometime here in the next few weeks. And you know what? I'll probably do some vlogs about it. because I did watch, I think, the first couple seasons, and then I just was lost. So I think I'm going to try to give it another go and see how that turns out. That's going to do it for this video vlog. I'd like to share some other ideas as content, and if you have some that you want to share with me, please drop it in the comments. Rate, subscribe, make a video. I love to see you. So until next time, take care.